So, good morning. We are coming to session number 6 of unit 3, that is gate level minimization and combinational logic, in which we are going to discuss encoder, decoder, multiplexer and demultiplexer. So, in the previous session you have seen in the session 5 that we have completed this adders, subtractors, and now we will see this particular data transmission unit under the combinational logic circuit, which is multiplexer, demultiplexer, encoder and decoder. So, these are the 4 topics that we are going to discuss as combinational circuits, logic circuits, encoders, decoders, multiplexers and demultiplexers. So, these are the 4 topics which we are going to pursue, right. So, now coming to encoder. So, it is also a combinational circuit, it is a combinational circuits of converting the binary information of the form 2 power n input lines to n input lines, right. So, this is the important point that you have to note it. So, m input lines we can also represent with m, and 2 power n input lines to n output lines, and then here in encoder you can only make one input active at a time. So, this is most important, only one input line is active at a time, and then examples of encoder are 4x2 and 8x3 encoders are the examples for this circuit. Now, we will see what is encoder, right. So, here you can see it is 2 power n, it is 2 power n input lines are there and n output lines are there, right. So, 2 power n input lines are there for encoder and n output lines are there for the encoder. For example, if you consider this as 4x2 encoder, 4/2 encoder, you can see here there are 4 input lines and here it is having 2 input lines. So, this is one of the circuit of encoder which comes under combinational logic circuits, right. So, now you can see in this 8x3 also you have 8 inputs and 3 outputs, right. So, this is how you are going to construct the encoder. So, there are 2 types of encoders, that is 4x2 as well as 8x3. So, now we will see how this encoder is going to work. Again I am repeating it. So, combinational circuits, encoders, decoders, multiplexer and demultiplexer are part of it, and in this particular encoder you will have 2 power n inputs and n outputs, and then one input is active at a time, and then the examples for this is 4x2 and 8x3 encoders are there. So, here you can see in this particular encoder, if there are 4 inputs, but only one input will be active at a time. So, this particular A0 and A1 will have such a sequence that only one input can be considered. So, it can be Y3 or Y2 or Y1 or Y0. So, depending on the encoder and its input sequence, we will be finding out the output sequence, right. So, now we will see how it is going to work. So, block diagram is there, truth table is there, and then Boolean functions are there, and truth table is there, and Boolean expression or Boolean function that you are going to generate from it, and then with that logic or circuit diagrams that you are going to have for the encoder. So, for this you are having 4 inputs, those are Y3, Y2, Y1, Y0, and then the outputs are 2 in number. So, hope this is clear for you, because it is 4x2 encoder, we have 4 inputs and 2 output lines. So, these things you can as well as have only one input line for every time, and then using the Boolean functions we are using OR gates to represent this encoder, right. So, we will see how this is going to work in the real, right. You can see here the input lines are 4 in number, so the output lines are 2 in number. So, it is 4/2 encoder. So, you can see the particular input lines that we represented with Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. So, these are the 4 input lines in which you can see the 4 possibilities are there, like this can be active, Y1 can be active. So, each and every operation that you are going to perform, that one particular slot can be active at a time. So, here Y0 is active and here Y1 is active and here Y2 is active, here Y3 is active. So, based on this activity you are going to have the 2-bit stream, that is if for example Y0 is the input that you want to select, then you will get the output as 0 0, and if you want to make Y1 as an active input, then you will get 0 1, and then in the same way Y2 if you want to make it active, so 1 0. So, at a time based on the input constraints you are going to get the possible outputs, right? 2-bit output. Now you can see, for example, if you want to have a Boolean expression for A1, so wherever there is 1, those particular inputs are added. So you can see that in the A1, which is 1 here, you can see Y2 is active as well as Y3 is active. So that is the reason why you're going to express the Boolean expression or Boolean function as A1 is equal to Y3 plus Y2. In the same way, A0. A0 also you can see where there is 1, that particular input slot is active. So we can say that A0, 1, you say Y1 and you say Y3. So that is the reason why you have derived a Boolean expression or a Boolean function or a Boolean statement like A0 is equal to Y3 plus Y1. So based on these two Boolean functions, you are going to have a circuit. This is how the pattern that we follow for all the circuits, right? So combination circuit for 4x2 encoder. This is the logic circuit that we have done based on the Boolean function, right? So here you can see Y3, Y2, Y1, and based on this particular Boolean functions that we have derived, we have got the circuit which is OR. So we'll say this: OR gates are used, 2 OR gates are used in order to get A0 and A1. So this is how 4x2 encoder works. One which is considering octal to binary. So octal to binary, as you people know, that octal is of how many inputs? It is from 0 to 7, whereas binary it is 0 or 1, right? So the possibilities that we can have for the octal to binary, that is 8x3 encoder, we are going to find it out. So we'll see that the same block diagram is there, the truth table is there, and the Boolean expressions are there, and the logic or circuit diagram. This is the order we have to follow for any encoder or whatever the combinational circuit that you consider. You have to derive this particular thing, okay? So now for this particular thing, 8 inputs are there because it is 8x3, it is having 8 inputs and 3 outputs. So 8 inputs are Y7 to Y0, that is how you are going to represent it, all the inputs, and then 3 outputs are A2, A1 and A0, and only one, as the input is only one gets activated at any moment or any operation, only one input is going to be active. So only one out of 8 inputs are to be selected at once. So this is a procedure that generally we follow for the encoding mechanism, and then the logic or circuit gates will have 4 OR gates. We'll see how this is going to be implemented with the logic circuit in the next slide. And now coming to the block diagram, this is a block diagram. So in this block diagram, you can see that the octal to binary, which is a part of 8x3 encoder. So in this particular encoder, here 8 inputs are there, in which only one input can be activated at any moment of time. So that particular active, for example, you consider the Y7, the general representation is 111 in the octal form, and then that particular 111, if you want to make that an active, then the output must be 111. For example, if you want to make Y3 active, what is the octal? The general octal representation, what is Y3? So 3 is something like 0, 1, 1. So it will be like 0, 1, 1, right? 0, 1, 1. So this is how you are going to get the output. So based on the input, you are going to get the output in this particular 8x3 encoder, right? So now you can see in this particular table, here the set of inputs that are, this is the set of inputs, and these are the set of outputs. So 8x3. So this particular 8, only one can be active at a time. So we'll have 8 operations for this particular circuit. So 8 operations are, you are going to make Y01 and Y11 and Y21, so Y31. So in a diagonal way you can represent it, so that in every operation only one input is active and the other one are inactive, which they are low active, and these are called high active. High active means the circuit is active, but the input is high, which is represented by 1 or true. In the same way, if it is low, then it is represented by false or 0, right? So this is how you are going to represent the diagonal way of representing a truth table. In the truth table, you can have that if it is Y0 is selected, then you will make 0, 0, 0, which is the general representation, right? So changing the binary format from one format to another format, this is how you are going to do it, right? So here you can see that the final output, for example, if you are selecting Y7, then it's 1, 1, 1, which is the representation of a 7. So this is how you are going to work with 8x3 encoder. So I hope that this is clear. So we have gone through the block diagram. This is block diagram, and this is truth table. and next comes Boolean function, and from Boolean function you are going to derive logic circuit or circuit diagram. Okay. So now we'll see. So this is how you are going to again I have taken the truth table, the same truth table I have copied. So this is the output part of that encoder, in which A0, wherever there is 1, that corresponding inputs are added. So you can see that A0, you are going to add the ones which are there. So it is like Y1 you are going to add here. So this is Y1 you are going to add, and here it is 1, right? So here it is 1, so you are going to add Y3, and here it is 1, so you are going to add Y5, and there it is going to be 1, so you are going to add Y7. So for A0, you are going to represent with the selected input. So here you can see that A0 is derived with Y1 plus Y3 plus Y5 plus Y7. In the same way, A1 is also the Boolean expression is derived, as well as for A2 also we have derived a Boolean expression. So hope this is clear. So this is how the truth table you have generated for 8 cross 3 encoder, and for that you have generated a Boolean expression. So based on these Boolean expressions, you are going to have a circuit. So in this particular circuit, you can see that A0 is a combination of Y7, Y5, Y3, and Y1. So for that, you can derive this A0 from here Y1, and then from Y3 you are going to have a connection. Here see, you can have a connection from Y3, and then from Y5 also he is going to have a connection, and then finally Y7. So this is how you are going to have a circuit diagram for A0. In the same way, A1. So for A1 you are going to have Y7, Y6, Y3, and Y2. So based on that, the particular gates that are connected to this particular OR gate, and in the previous step you have seen that this particular OR gate has 4 input, and you can see here these are 4, these are 4, and these are 4. So this is how he has expressed the 8 cross 3 encoder, right? So now coming to priority encoder. Okay, so this is what we call it as priority encoder. In the name itself, it is saying that priority. So whenever you see any encoder, if there are more number of ones are there, that is more number of inputs are active, then there is a problem that which particular operation should be selected. So here this is priority encoder. Here you can see that there are 4 inputs in this. This is how the inputs are there, that is Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3, and now for Y3 it is going to have the highest priority, and followed by Y2, Y1, and then finally the lowest priority is for Y0, which means that you can see that this is MSB and this is LSB. So based on the input sequence, you are going to have the corresponding output for the particular thing. So you can see that if all the things are 0, then the output will be all zeros. Okay. So this is the first operation that is performed, and then if you have Y0 as 1, then you will have you can see here it is having the lowest priority. So whenever it is the lowest priority is activated, then it will be 0, 0. The output of the priority encoder will be 0, 0. Okay. So whenever it is 1, when this is 1, Y1 is 1. Okay. So whenever it is Y1 is 1, so whether you see Y0, whether it is 0 or 1, which means that it is a don't care condition. Hope that you remember the don't care condition, that is 0 or 1, it can be represented with X or D. Okay, X or small d. So general representation for don't care condition is represented with small x or capital X or small x or D. Right? So here you represent it with X, which means it can be 0 or 1. But as per the priority, this is Y1 is a priority, right? So if it is 1, then the corresponding output that you are going to get is 0 and 1. Are you getting it? In the same way, now for Y2, if it is 1, which means that this is the next priority level. So in that particular priority level, if the other two are, which are zeros and ones, so if Y2 is 1, then the rest of the things, whether it is 0 or 1, it is not going to consider, and for this particular thing, you are going to get the output as 1, 0. And finally, if the Y3 is 1, whatever may be the input values, whether it is high or low, which is 1 or 0, or it is true or false, you are going to get 1, 1. Right? So this is how you are going to get the priority encoder table. So based on the priority that you are going to give for the input, the corresponding outputs are finalized. And now for this particular thing also, you can have A0, A1 and V. V is something like whether it is a valid bit or invalid bit. Okay. So something like here you can see Y0, if it is 1, then the output sequence is 0, 0, and it is a valid bit. Okay. So for only the first operation where all the inputs are 0, then you see that it is all zeros and the valid bit is 0. And the rest of the operations, if Y0 is 1, then you'll have 0, 0, and the bit is valid. So in the same way, this particular truth table is generated, and from the truth table you are going to have the Boolean function for each and every output variable. Okay. So here you take A1, and here you take A0, and here you take V. So wherever there is 1, that you are going to add it, and wherever there is 1 for A0, you are going to add that particular inputs, and this is how you have generated an expression. Based on this, you are going to see a truth table here. This particular truth table, you can see that, for example, if you want to have this particular truth table, for this particular truth table, you want to have a Karnaugh map. So we'll see for A0, right? For A0, just see 1 and 1. So wherever it is 1, which means that, so here you can see the 4 inputs are divided into 4 variable Karnaugh map. That is a representation why it is Y3, Y2, Y1, Y0. As I told you, this is MSB, which is Y3, and LSB. So now the input, for example, if you consider it as 0, 0, 0, 1, right? 0, 0, 0, 1, which is 0. So 0, 0, 0, 1 means what? 0, 0, 0, 1 is 1, right? Sorry, it is 0. So it is represented with 0. So wherever there is 1, then we are representing the Karnaugh map with 1s. Okay, now you can see, for example, here A0, you are having 1 here, and here you are having 1. So for this particular 1, you see here that the sequence is 0, 0, 1, don't care. So don't care can be represented with 0 or 1. So you can have 0, 0, 1, 0. So 0, 0, 1, 0, you are having 1. Are you getting it? 0, 0, 1, 0, you are having 1. In the same way, 0, 0, 1, 1 also 1, because here this particular x can be 0 or 1. So both possibilities you are going to represent with 1. In the same way now, for this particular one, you can see that this particular 1 followed by x, which means if y3 is 1, all other possibilities, everything you have to represent with 1. So that is the reason why you can see here that for y3, wherever it is 1, whatever may be the other possibilities, because don't care conditions can be 0 or 1, so all possibilities you are going to have all 1s. That is the important point here, right? So y3, based on the priority, you can see that particular 1 can be represented with y3 as 1. So all these are represented with 1 in the particular Karnaugh map. Now you know the grouping concept, that you can group it as pair or quad or octant. So here you can see this particular set can form as a group which is quad, where 4 number of 1s are having the group. Okay, this particular thing can be grouped, right? Because as I told you that the Karnaugh map can be roll over from left to right or top to bottom. So these 4 ones can make as a group, and then this particular octant, you can see here the octant, this is the second group. So based on this, you're going to have an expression, something like for this particular group, you're going to have y2 bar and y1, because you can see this particular, so this one and this one in the row, you can compare it, right? So when you compare it, the y2 bar is common, and here in this particular column wise, you can see that it is y1 is common. So that is the reason why you got the expression as y2 bar y1. Okay, so y2 bar and y1. You know, you can see in this particular octant, you got y3, because particular octant you are going to have the commonality, that is you can check over here the common literal that is there is y3. So that is the reason why it is y3. Now for this entire expression A0, you can have an expression like y3 plus y2 bar of y1, which is what we have derived this Boolean function. From this Boolean function, you can have a Boolean logic diagram or the circuit diagram in which this particular A0, you can see for A0 how you are going to get, this is OR, which means addition, and this is addition. And what you are going to add here, this is y2 bar, which means here you can see y2 bar, and then y1 is AND, applied to AND gate, which is a dot operator or dot logic. So we write it as y2 bar y1, and that is given as an input, and then from y3 you are getting another input, here y3, And now the final expression will be y3 plus y2 bar y1. So this is what A0 is. So now you understood how the circuit is identified by the truth table and then Karnaugh map, Boolean function, and from the Boolean function you are going to have a circuit. So this is how you are going to work on priority encoders, right? So now coming to decoders. So here a small change that is the reverse of encoder. Encoder generally takes more number of bits and it will reduce to lower number of bits, whereas in decoder it is reverse. It will take lower number of bits and it will convert to some more number of bits, right? So you can see that the thing that you can see a block diagram for encoder, it is something like 2 power n, which is more number of bits are as an input to the encoder, and from that you are going to get n outputs, and that output is given to decoder and you will get back more number of bits which are 2 power n. So this is how you are going to have a structure for encoder and decoder, right? So for encoder 2 power n is the input size and n is the output size, and from that particular output you are going to give that output as an input to the decoder so that you will get back the original data. So this is how you are going to save some memory while data transmission. That is the reason why combinational logic circuits work on this data transmission. Now we'll see how it's going to work. So decoder, as I told you, this is a general diagram. This is the block diagram that you can see here. So this is having 2 inputs and 4 outputs. So this is 2 by 4 decoder. So 2 by 4 decoder in which you will be having an enable pin. Enable pin will set to 1, then the circuit is active. If it is 0, then the circuit is inactive. So based on these 2 inputs, you are going to give to the decoder and you will get back the 4 output. So from this you can see this particular decoder also the combinational circuit where it converts the binary information of n input to 2 power n output lines, right? This is the decoder, and the decoder is also same, only one input line is active at a time. So it's the same like encoder, it is also the same where only one active lines will be there, and here you can see decoder, which means 2 inputs and 4 outputs. So here you can see this particular 2 inputs, that is A0 and A1 are the inputs, and Y2 to Y3 these are outputs, right? So based on this you are going to have a truth table. So here you can see enable pin, input and output. So for that enable pin, if it is 0, if the circuit is in inactive state, so whatever may be the possibilities of the inputs, that is why it is represented with don't care conditions, that is X or D. So whenever it is don't care, then the possibilities that you are going to get is all zeros. The output that you are going to get is all zeros. And now if you make the enable pin 1 and then the possibility output input says 0 0, and then you will get all zeros followed by the last 1. And the same way, if the enable pin is 1 and it is 0 1, then Y1 is selected, and then if 1 0, Y2 is selected. So if it is 1 1, Y3 is selected. So hope that the diagram is reversed. Okay. So now based on this truth table, you have identified the Boolean function, the Boolean functions that you have extracted from the truth table, that is Y2 or Y1. First we go to with Y0. So Y0, whenever it is 1, we see that Y0, whenever it is 1, so you can see here Y0, it is E, which is enable is 1 and followed by A1 bar and A0 bar. So you can see that this particular Y0, whenever it is active, the corresponding enable pin as well as the A1, A0, which are the inputs, are in the complemented form. That is how you have extracted the Y0. In the same way, Y1 also you can extract. So Y1 is here. So the corresponding inputs that are the enable pin as well as A and B, that is A0, A1 and A0, which is considered as input. So based on that, that particular output pin will be active. So this is how you have constructed a Boolean function from the truth table of the 2 by 4 decoder. And now you can see here these 2 inputs, A0 and A1, the original line as well as the uncomplemented line and complemented line. So based on this complemented and uncomplemented line, you are going to derive this expression. For example, you see this Y0. So Y0 is a combination of E enable pin with its complement of all the inputs. So you can see this particular Y0 enable pin is here, which is equal to 1, which means the circuit is active. And if the circuit is active, this particular 2 points that you can see, Here it is negation, right? So A naught, A0 bar is given as an input, and in the same way, here you can see A1 bar, right? So A1 bar. So the final expression will be here E A0 bar A1 bar. So this is how you are going to derive an expression for the Y0. In the same way, you can do for Y1, Y2, Y3, which are something like for the particular output, only one particular selective input will be selected. So this is how you are going to work on 2x4 decoders. Okay. So in the same way, you can also have the same 3x8 decoders. That is will be like homework. So now we'll see multiplexer. Okay. So this is the third combinational logic, that is multiplexer. Here you can see there are the input lines that are there are 2 power n data lines are there, in which there will be a selection lines that are n in number and only single output line. That is how you are going to construct a multiplexer, which is a combinational circuit. So you can see here that there are n input lines, and well with the m selective lines and then one output line. Okay. So this will be, if it is n input lines and m selective lines and one output lines. This is what we call it as multiplexer. You can see here there are more number of input lines and here only one single output line. That is why the symbol representation is here the more number of input lines are there and here one output line is there, right? So this is how you are going to represent the block diagram of multiplexer, and that for that block diagram you can see an example that it is 4x1 multiplexer where 4 inputs are there and one output is there. So for this particular 4 inputs you are going to have 2 selective lines. So this is how 4x1 multiplexer appears. Okay. So now you can see that the multiplexer, there are n selective lines for 2 power n possible combinations of zeros and ones. So the 8 by 1 multiplexer is there, as well as 4 by 1 multiplexer is there. So 2 types of multiplexers are there. In the same way, you can also have 16 cross 1 or 32 by 1 multiplexers. So this is how you are going to construct multiplexer. So here also you can see for the 4 data input lines, you will have 2 selective lines. This is 4 data input lines for 2 selective lines and 1 output line. Okay. In the same way, whenever it is 8 cross 1, then 8 data lines are there with 3 selective lines, and 1 output line is there for 8 by 1 multiplexer, right? So now we'll see how this is going to work. 4x1 multiplexer. Here you can see the same format, the block diagram, the truth table, Boolean functions and logic circuits. So you see here, this is a particular block diagram that you have taken for 4 by 1 multiplexer. Particular multiplexer, you can have the selective lines. So based on the selective lines, you are going to have a final output. So you can see here the selective lines are 0, 0, which means here you are going to represent selective lines. You are going to have only any of the one as an input line. So that is how you are going to represent here. So if you want to make the I0 as active, then you have to give selective lines as 0, 0, and for I1 it will be 0, 1, and for I2 it will be 1, 0, and for I3 it will be 1, 1. So based on that, you are going to derive an expression, Boolean expression. This is how you are going to derive an expression for Y. So all the Y's, so you can see this particular logics. So this is the min terms that you have generated for the particular block diagram as well as truth table. And now for this logic diagram, this is how you are going to construct a logic diagram for the 4 by 1 multiplexer. Okay. So you can see here, these are the input lines, and based on these input lines, you can have selective lines that can be in complemented or uncomplemented form, so that this particular function can be derived, right? So this is how 4x1 multiplexer is generated. Again, I am telling you block diagram, truth table, and Boolean function, and then you are going to have a logic circuit or circuit diagram, right? Next, demultiplexer, which is a reverse one. So you can see here. So here you can see the demultiplexer. This is demultiplexer, which can be called as Dmax, where you see here one input line will be there, and the selective lines depends on the number of output lines. Okay, n output lines are there and m selective lines are there. So it is quite opposite of the multiplexer. The same way you can also represent it is like this. So here it is multiplexing with multiple input to single output and single output to multiple input. So here it is mux and this is demux. We generally call with the shorthand representation of mux and demux. Okay, so this is 1 cross 4, which means one input with the two selective lines. With the two selective lines, you are going to get back the output, any of the following output. So we'll see how it's going to work. And here you can see that this particular demultiplexer, it is a reverse operation of multiplexer. So single input, n selection lines, and maximum 2 power. It is called the demux, which is demultiplexer. The general representation. So you can see here the general diagram, that is for 1 by 4 demultiplexer, where you can see the block diagram, as well as the truth table that you have. Block diagram, here is the truth table, this is block diagram and this is truth table, and from the truth table you are going to generate the Boolean functions. So based on the Boolean functions you are going to generate the logic diagram or the circuit diagram for that particular 1 by 4 demultiplexer, right? So I hope the concept is clear. Again I am going to repeat: encoders, decoders, multiplexers, demultiplexers. Okay. So have a small look over the theory as well as the diagrammatic part. Okay. And thank you.